All right, one of our big soapbox deals every year is we need more young Americans in the IndyCar series, and thanks to this ugly guy on my right, Mr. Brent Crusher Murray, Matt Brabham is going to be at the Indy 500 and the U.S. Grand Prix IndyCar style in May. When did you think that you had a chance? Because he called me a year ago and said, what do you think about this team that you knew was in the works?
Yeah, I mean, he told me a little bit about it, but I didn't really, take it seriously at first, Crusher. But no, he didn't really tell me too much. I didn't know what was going on exactly. And one day he just started sending me all these emails trying to get me to study up on the race and certain events that had happened. And I was kind of thinking, oh, that's a bit weird, but I just do what he says, and did my research and learned some things about the Indy 500 and the first race in Chicago and things like that. And then, a couple of months later, he rang up and said, oh yeah, we got a deal together. We're going to be at the Indy 500. And man, that was a pretty special call. I can't tell you, the feelings that came through. I was a bit speechless over the phone, but he's done an excellent job, and hats off to him.
All right, Crusher, now talk about just talk about the whole deal coming together and how. Has it been a year, 2 years putting this thing together?
Well, I guess in my head it's been 30 years, but probably just the last 8 months we've gone really hard at it. Pertec have been a client of mine for 15 years, got great friendships.
What is Pertec?
They're fluid system specialists, so they do hoses and fittings and all that things. So we're in the food industry, the mining industry, transport. I mean, to give you an idea, they've got 95 franchises in Australia with 8% of the population. Here they've got 54. So this whole program's about developing their franchise system, take it to another level and expanding that tremendously, which is all about the business story we talk about in racing all the time, and we're about to prove that that's right. So we need people to get behind us and see that happen and come to fruition, and they really wanted us to, they dared to dream with us, if you like, and they're going to be on the grid with us, and as I said, they're friends as well as business associates, and they're pretty excited about the whole program.
The great thing too is we've had the Unsers, we've had the Andretti's. Your grandfather started the Runesman Revolution. Your dad, I covered him when he raced in kart. It's always what you've wanted to be. You grew up in Florida. You didn't want to be a stock car driver. You want to be an IndyCar driver.
Absolutely, yeah. I think my parents kind of tried to push me in every other direction other than racing. I think Dad was trying to put tennis rackets in my hand. Mom was trying to put golf clubs. They didn't want me to be in racing. But when I grew up listening to the stories, my grandfather's stories, Dad's stories, it was just something that I thought was awesome and so cool. So I was like, I want to do that myself. And at first they're a little bit, oh, you sure? And then once they kind of saw it in my eyes and I really wanted to do it, and I had a couple of go-kart races and I became serious about it, they got fully behind me. And Dad and Mom and my family and everyone, even my grandfather was very helpful and supportive the whole way up through.
When you and I talked about 6 or 7 months ago about possible teams if you found sponsorships, I didn't really think about KV because they had 2 or 3 cars, but now it looks like it couldn't be a better place because it may be just Bourdais and you're a young man here.
Yeah, so they may produce some more opportunity, which would be fantastic. And so we got a great relationship with Kevin and with Jimmy. It goes back a long time. And the great thing is that we trust each other. So we know we're going to get the right gear, we're going to get the right people. We're going to work on that together on the people side. And between us, we know lots, great people. And one of the things, the selection process was they'll let me do what I do. And what I do is a little bit different than most other people, but they have the freedom to be able to do that, and they're excited about some of the programs we've got going on. One of the items in particular with the Chris Kyle Frog Foundation is going to be rock solid. It's going to be really cool.
That real quick.
Well, the foundation, we've had a great relationship there. Obviously, Chris Kyle is the American sniper, and so we've got the foundation, and they do great things with couples and marriages in military and first responders, and helping them reconnect those things. And Taya is our ambassador. She'll be there on Memorial Day weekend, so all that thing comes together. So we combine Memorial Day weekend, the foundation, our ability to be able to raise some money for them through our great merchandise program, linking into their system. I mean, today we roll into the system. We've got 2 or 3 million fans through our race team just through the foundation. That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
And a lot of them maybe not racing people, but they're soon going to be.
That's what we need. We need more race fans. Kid, last question.
Yep.
Will you have a test day or 2 maybe before the month of May starts?
Yeah, the plan is to try and get a test day in before, obviously, the Grand Prix there. I know that it might not be open to new entries in the Indy 500, but we're working at trying to get that open and get a couple of test days in there, do the Grand Prix and have that race, get used to the pit stops, and make sure we're really ready for the 500 and have a good crack at it for the 500.
It's kind of cool too that your first IndyCar race will be a road course race. You'll get in your comfort zone.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's obviously I'm comfortable both on ovals and road courses, but Indy 500 is definitely a big step. And yeah, I mean, I had some good success there in Indy Lights to the road course, and it's one of my favorite tracks, and done a lot of laps there in the two-seater IndyCar and the Impalas, and just doing ride days and stuff. So yeah, looking forward to it.
All right, a new team for IndyCar racing, thank God. And if this guy keeps winning horse race bets like he usually does, they might run the whole series in 2017. This is Robin Miller for RACER.com. Thanks for watching.